With the first pick,
The Indiana Fever selects
Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
Well, Caitlin Clark hugging her family, her brothers, Blake and Colin, her father Brent, her mother Ann, and heading to the podium. She is officially a member of the
Indiana Fever thought they were signing a rookie. What they got was a full-blown business empire. Caitlin Clark just dropped a nuclear bomb on the WNBA with contract details so explosive even her own team was caught off guard. While the league keeps crying poverty, Clark's team secretly negotiated perks that would make LeBron James do a double-take, private jets, 24/7 recovery specialists, and a marketing clause that gives her full control of her brand. This isn't just a contract, it's a hostile takeover, and the WNBA's old guard is losing their minds.
Commissioner's Cup final. What a dish. Dallas, the finish, plus on a beautiful delivery.
Sources inside the Fever organization admit they never expected Clark's team to demand this level of power. "We thought we were signing a basketball player," one insider whispered. "Turns out we signed a movement."
Teammates finishing baskets for you, so it's pretty cool. And obviously this franchise has had a lot of really great players, so to be a part of that and to come here was, a perfect place for me. So I'm just very lucky and fortunate.
How did you guys make that final?
While bitter rivals like Angel re-scrape by on league minimums, Clark's deal includes a percentage of Fever merchandise sales, meaning every time her jersey flies off the shelves, she gets a cut. And let's be real, her jersey isn't just selling, it's outselling the entire league combined. The WNBA wanted to keep her in a box too bad. She just broke the box. Smash that like button if you love Caitlin's power moves. Subscribe now. This story is just heating up the leak that changed everything.
I think in Caitlin's debut, since she has made her debut, there's been a large and loud clamor or push. Yes, that is Caitlin versus the W. Okay. And that
music. The WNBA tried to hide the truth, but the receipts don't lie. Leaked documents reveal Clark's contract includes a never-before-seen clause. If the Fever failed to provide elite training staff, she can void the deal. That's right, she's not just a player, she's the CEO of her own career. And when the league winded about fairness, Clark's team hit back with cold, hard facts. Her games pull in 4x the viewers of any other WNBA matchup. Why should she settle for peanuts when she's bringing in the whole damn circuit? Meanwhile, the so-called veterans are throwing tantrums behind closed doors. Named All-Star allegedly screamed at league execs, but here's the tea: life isn't fair, didn't luck into this. She built it while other players were busy starting fake beef. For clout, Clark was rewriting the business of women's sports, and now the Fever's locker rooms are getting renovated, their sponsors are tripling investments, and the team's value just skyrocketed, all because one woman refused to play by the old rules.
But here's what's got the old guard really shook. This shift isn't slowing down. Clark showed every young baller out there that you don't have to wait your turn or kiss the WNBA ring to get paid. You come in, dominate the headlines, and force the league to adapt or die. This isn't just a movement, it's a reckoning. And for the players still clinging to outdated hierarchies, it's starting to look like extinction.
The real reason the WNBA is panicking, let's not sugarcoat it. The WNBA isn't panicking because of Kane Clark's popularity. They're panicking because they've lost control. For decades, the league clung to this fantasy of equality, equal pay, equal minutes, equal attention, like a badge of honor. But Clark shattered that illusion the second she walked through the door. Her games pull in millions of viewers, her jersey outsells entire franchises, and her brand bigger than half the league combined suddenly. The WNBA's socialist experiment looks like a scam, and the old guard is furious. Manny Kenny with the New York Post with unrivaled the announcement that Paige Beckers is going to get a 3-year deal with them. In the first year of that, she's going to make more than what she's going to make in her entire rookie salary. I guess I'm just curious, what was your reaction to hearing that? And how does knowing the salaries that players are getting paid in a startup league that lasts only 10 weeks This has nothing to do with locker room culture or earning your stripes. It's about power. The league has always functioned like a closed club controlled by former stars, legacy schools, and insiders who think they own the narrative. But Caitlin Clark isn't playing by their rules. The second she signed that rookie deal, the system cracked, because while the league was offering her pennies and pretending it was a privilege, Ice Cub's big three stepped in and dropped a $5 million bomb. 3 months, $5 million just to play ball without the politics. Its official big three has made a $5 million offer to the sensation that is Caitlin Clark, and then you responded to the reporting and said, I was going to keep this private as she remains in the hunt for a championship. You did not want to be a distraction, which, by the way, respect, even though it's a $5 million offer, didn't want to be an interference or a distraction, but you have made a historic offer, and why wouldn't the? And here's where it gets real. That big three offer wasn't just bait, it was a message other leagues are watching and they're ready to scoop Clark up. If the W doesn't wise up, the WNBA isn't just at risk of losing a player, they're at risk of losing their entire future. Clark's the face of a generation, and if they can't keep her happy, she'll take her fans, her money, and her influence somewhere else. The panic, it's not about paychecks, it's about a dynasty on the edge of collapse. Secret weapon, and it's not her jump shot. Everyone knows Caitlin Clark can shoot the lights out, but what they're missing is her real weapon, cold-blooded leverage. While the league's busy trying to box her in, Clark's been making power moves behind the scenes that the WNBA elite never saw coming. You think the hype is just about three-point range? Think again. Clark's camp has been playing chess, while the rest of the league is still figuring out. Sources say that in a move straight out of the billionaire playbook, Clark's team negotiated ownership equity in the Indiana Fever. Let that sink in. Not just a contract, not just a shoe deal, ownership. You know how rare that is, virtually unheard of in women's sports. Team execs reportedly looked shocked when her agent brought it to the table, but Clark didn't blink because she knows her worth, and she's done letting the league set the ceiling. She's not just playing the game, she's rewriting its terms. The Commissioner's Cup final, what a dish. Dallas, the finish, plus the on a beautiful delivery from Annette. Doesn't stop there. Clark's already secured trademarks for her name, her likeness, and her slogans. Ever you built that hoodie, she owns the rights. Every highlight reel that goes viral, her media team is cashing in. Meanwhile, the WNBA, who usually gets a cut of players' merchant media, is left holding the bag. This isn't a star athlete, this is a brand of business and movement, and the league has zero control over it while her haters are busy talking about rookie hazing. Caitlin Clark is building an empire, one that could outgrow the WNBA itself. Got your teammates finishing baskets for you. So, it's pretty cool. Obviously, this franchise has a lot of really great players, so to be a part of that, and to come here was, a perfect place for me. So, I'm just very lucky and fortunate. How did you guys?
I'm just gonna, reflect back and appreciate everything we've been able to accomplish together.
What will you remember from this team?
I think, more than the wins and losses, it's just all the moments in between. This is a confident group of girls, and if you have a young daughter or a young son, this is the type of team you
make. That final, the domino effect nobody saw coming. Caitlin Clark didn't just ink a deal, she detonated a bomb under the WNBA's foundation. That $28 million Nike mega deal with private jet perks and creative control wasn't just a win for Clark, it was a line in the sand. Now the other players, the so-called vets, are scrambling, looking around like, wait, she gets all that for what? Hitting logo threes and being white. And that's the subtext no one wants to say out loud, but everyone's thinking, because this isn't just about talent, it's about leverage. Clark brought the heat, and suddenly agents are demanding the same treatment for their clients. But here's the thing, none of them can match her firepower. Clark's deal set off a chain reaction that's ripping through locker rooms and front offices. Teams are panicking, executives are sweating. One insider even admitted off the record, we're about to get held hostage by our own players. And they're not wrong, because Clark didn't just raise the bar, she chucked it like a grenade. Players are calling out contracts, endorsements are being renegotiated mid-season. This isn't business as usual anymore, it's chaos controlled by a rookie who just flipped the script on a 28-year-old league. I think in Caitlin's debut since she has made her debut, there's been a large and loud clamor or push, yes, that is Caitlin versus the W and that. But here's what's got the old guard really shook. This shift isn't slowing down. Clark showed every young baller out there that you don't have to wait your turn or kiss the WNBA ring to get paid. You come and dominate the headlines and force the league to adapt or die. This isn't just a movement, it's a reckoning. And for the players still clinging to outdated hierarchies, it's starting to look like extinction. Music. WNBA's dirty little secret. Let's cut the fake humility and tell the truth. The WNBA doesn't just want Caitlin Clark, they depend On her like oxygen, this isn't hype, the numbers don't lie. Her debut game outdrew entire playoff series. Her jersey sales are outselling every other player by a mile. She single-handedly doubled the Fever's valuation. Meanwhile, the rest of the league is just hoping to ride her wave. The truth: without Clark, the WNBA is just a struggling side act with a Twitter account. But with her, it's $1 billion conversation. I'm just going to, reflect back and appreciate everything we've been able to accomplish together. What we remember from this game, I think, more than the wins and, losses. It's just all the moments in between. This is a competent group of girls. And if you have a young daughter or a young son, this is the type of team you want them. And that's exactly why they caved to her demands. Private jet scheduling, input marketing, say so stuff no rookie ever even dreamed of. But Clark got it not because she begged, but because she owns the room sponsors don't. Ask for Aja Wilson. They don't care about Ter's legacy. They want Clark. They want her story, her image, her following. She is the entire ecosystem now. And behind closed doors, the league knows it. That's why they're walking on eggshells while pretending it's business as usual. Meanwhile, the faces of the league are having a meltdown. Wilson can't land a single new deal since Clark walked in the door. Angel Reed desperately trying to manufacture a rivalry, but Clark refuses to play her petty game. And Tersey still dropping shade in interviews, clearly rattled by how fast Clark erased 2 decades of her own spotlight. But here's the kicker: none of their bitterness matters. Clark's star is untouchable. She could pack her bags tomorrow and go play in Europe, call games with ESPN, or drop a docu-series with Netflix, and still make more than all of them combined. They say you're 2 possessions away from being 4-0 in these games. Do you look at it from both sides? Like, here are the positives of this, and then here are the things we really want to work on. And that's probably what's frustrating about it too. It's like we are 2 possessions or, from being 4-0. But there was so many little areas in this game that we could have improved. Like, the league thought they were getting a player. What they got was a power broker in sneakers. And if they don't play ball on her terms, she's got 5 million reasons and 5 million fans to walk. This isn't just a generational shift, it's a hostile takeover. And Caitlin Clark, she's not asking permission anymore. The clouds that could destroy the wingback Copper Allen and Brittany Greer playing in just her 8th game of the there is a quiet panic rippling through WNBA boardrooms right now. And it all traces back to a single paragraph buried deep in Caitlin Clark's rookie contract, page 27 to be exact. Sources say there's a clause that gives Clark the power to walk away after just 2 years if the league doesn't hit specific revenue benchmarks. Let that sink in. The woman single-handedly driving ticket sales, jersey orders, and media attention could bail if the suits behind the scenes keep fumbling the bag. This isn't some standard opt-out, it's a loaded threat, and the fuse is already lit to leave it all out there that you had at Iowa both your junior and your senior year. You had 5 or 6 of these, right, where you literally, when you showed up in the arena, you did not know if it was your last game or not. Can you take any of that from junior year and senior year into a situation like this? Yeah, I think it's like you approach it in a way of like, you don't want this to be the end. Like, you want to keep coming back here. You want to keep coming to practice. You want to keep having shoot around. And here's the kicker: those revenue targets insiders claim they're already in serious jeopardy. Why? Because WNBA execs and broadcast partners like CBS keep alienating Clark's massive fan base by giving platforms to people like Dawn Staley and Renee Montgomery, who've made a sport out of downplaying and mocking Clark's success. Instead of building around the most impactful player the league has ever seen, they're pushing narratives that divide and deflate. Non-Clark games are already showing weak viewership. Merch for other stars is collecting dust, and sponsors are quietly reevaluating their deals. This isn't a marketing misstep, it's a slow-motion collapse, and Caitlin Clark's contract is the detonator. I think that I have a huge passion for the game of basketball. I have a huge passion for women's leadership, and I think, I'm really excited to be entering into the WNBA commissioner role as a real platform for all of these players, the owners, the whole basketball ecosystem, quite frankly, to drive it, to the next level. Clearly, the biggest opportunities for the league are to enhance the fan experience. Make no mistake, this clause is more than a legal escape. Had it's a message. Clark and her team saw the writing on the wall and built in a nuclear option. If the week keeps playing dirty, if things don't turn around by 2026, she can walk and go overseas, jump to a new media venture, or even help launch a competing women's league with NBA backing. That's the nightmare scenario for the WNBA the day their only bankable star decides she's done being their punching bag. And if that day comes, the league won't just lose a player, it'll lose its last chance at real relevance. Caitlin, a bit of history this afternoon, but I know you are a team first person. So, I want to ask you about how you all played against this Liberty team that beat you all 3 times this season. A lot of growth for your group. What was the difference maker today, Yetu?